Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Rick and I'm back here with the second half of February, my reviews for what I watched. And obviously we'll get into Hot Trash of the Month as well as the surprises or surprise of the month. And we only have 5 movies to talk about in this video. So I will say February, I'm not quite sure what I had going on in life, but we only watched 11 movies in February. That was after watching 31 in January, so probably got more into watching some shows and life just getting a bit hectic. It was Bridget's birthday in February, so we're probably out of town for a couple of days. I don't know, that was months, 3+ months ago. So, but yes, we're going to dive right in. 5 things to talk about. The movies were on either Netflix, HBO Max, plus we saw one movie in theaters. So let's dive right in. The first movie we checked out is a movie called The Fallout, which is a 2022 film. So this movie is interesting, especially in light of recent events as of the recording of this video on May 30th. Basically, the movie is about a high school school shooting, and Jenny Ortega is the lead in this film, who is most recently in Scream 2022. Basically, her character Veda is going through a normal day of school when she gets a phone call from her younger sister. She sneaks out of class, and then chaos ensues basically while that's happening. And she runs for cover in a school bathroom. And the primary focus on this movie is Veda and a character named Mia, who's played by Maddie Ziegler, also goes to the bathroom at the same time where everything starts happening. She's a really popular girl in school, and the movie basically doesn't depict any of the violence on screen at all, except for there's the aftermath of violence. One of the characters has blood on them, which is, like I said, this is very unsettling, especially with current events that have happened in the world. So basically, it talks about the aftermath of, what happened from the events at the school. That's why it's called The Fallout, because it's the fallout from the events. Basically, it talks about how it affects Vera's life with her family, her sister. She kind of forms this new friendship with this girl, Mia. She doesn't go to school a lot. She spends a lot of time with Mia, who she wasn't really close to or friends with beforehand. Features an excellent performance by Jenny Ortega, who plays the lead. And, it just, like I said, right now, the movie probably hits a lot different than it would have, not that it was an issue back then, because it was. I even said it shows a different side to the violence in schools than we're used to seeing portrayed in certain movies. So The Fallout is available on HBO Max. It gets a 3.5 out of 5 from me. Not too much to go into detail about that. Like I said, pretty tough to talk about. But next up is a new Steven Soderbergh movie, also available on HBO Max. In 2021, I believe it was. It was 21 or 20. He had released a movie on HBO Max called No Sudden Move that had some buzz with it, but I personally was not a big fan. I think that movie was one of my worst of the year. The year it came out, was not a fan. But he had a new movie that came out called Kimmy. It looked interesting. It had Zoe Kravitz as the lead actress in the movie. She played a character named Angela, who's an agoraphobe. And she basically stays at home. She doesn't leave her house. She works for a company that has we'll call it an Alexa-like device on the market that's named Kimmy. And basically she monitors problems for the company that owns the Kimmy device. She gets all sorts of audio issues and kind of like fixes like search problems and whatnot. And then one day she's going through her recordings where she's correcting problems, and she hears a violent act get committed. And basically it sends her down a rabbit hole trying to investigate this crime that has happened. The movie has a very strong first and third act, The middle of the movie was a bit weak for me. Definitely held the movie back from being like a 4-star, in 4-star territory personally, but still an enjoyable watch. Like I said, the first act was really good. The build up to, you know, what she does and the event occurring, and then the climax of the film is really good as well. The middle act, pretty tough to get through. But a really cool, watchable flick. Some really neat action stuff going on. Kimmy gets a 3 out of 5 for me. And there was also a 2022 release. Next up, another 2022 release. I think 4 of the 5 movies we're talking about are 2022 releases. So, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I guess, sequel. It's not really a reboot because it's tied to previous Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it also ignores previous Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels. So it's kind of like the new Halloween because that ignores a bunch of the Halloween sequels. So this movie was very divisive when it came out. I either saw people talk about how fantastic it was or people talk about how horrible and terrible it was. So I definitely saw a lot of people comparing it to Halloween Kills as well as Scream 2022, but I think that's just because 3 slasher movies all got released within the first 2 months of this year. For me, I enjoyed Texas Chainsaw Massacre more than Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills really, really rubbed me the wrong way, personally. And Halloween Kills, the more I think about it, that didn't come out the beginning of 2022. That was a 2021 film. So disregard that. I guess they were in close proximity within like 4 months of each other, not within the first couple months. So I apologize for that. Correct myself. This movie was not anywhere close to the level of the Scream 2022 film, though. So it was kind of like a happy medium between the two. Typical slasher film. It's very brief. I want to say it's like under 90 minutes. It's very gory, which, I mean, watching a slasher movie, you kind of want that, expect it. However, very predictable, in my opinion. And man, there's so much like that. No, that can't happen. Like, this is just unrealistic. I mean, most slasher movies are kind of over the top unrealistic, but these like superhuman traits that a character has, it's just annoying now, in my opinion, with these. You know, that was one of my biggest gripes with Halloween Kills. You just kind of shake your head and just try to have fun at what's going on the screen. Like I said, some absolutely gnarly, violent kill scenes in this film, and I thought it was a fun watch personally. Nothing great, nothing, you know, amazing, nothing out of this world, but a fun slasher. I gave Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, we'll call it that, a 2.5 out of 5. So the next flick we saw was a movie that we checked out in 4DX at the request of RJ. He really wanted to go see a 4DX movie again. I think my biggest gripe with 4DX is the comfort of the seats. They're not comfortable, in my opinion, especially for a 2-hour movie plus previews. They're not very comfortable. So this was tough because I find myself repositioning my body constantly and just struggling to get comfortable. But we went and saw Uncharted with Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland based on the video game franchise. I will preface this by saying I've not played any of the Uncharted video games. I know they have a huge fan base. They're some of the most successful video games of the modern era. So I'll start out by saying all that. I had a ton of fun with Uncharted personally. I thought that Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg had a very fun chemistry together in the movie. Just a really good action-adventure film. I definitely want to get this on 4K. It's currently available on 4K now, so looking to add it to my collection. I definitely hope we see more from this franchise. I know the movie was fairly successful, especially for early in the year, a February release. I had a lot of fun. They teased some things in post-credits that I'm on board for. I'd love to see more from this franchise. apparently the video game actor, or the voice in the video game that plays Nathan, I believe that's the main character, is Nathan. He actually, that person shows up in this film, so my sister was a big fan of that cameo. She even recognized the guy, which I didn't, but I asked her who it was, and she told me who it was. There's some action scenes that are a little too over the top, but in the age of Fast and Furious movies with cars in space and battleships through ice, like, I kind of unplugged my brain in a action movie like this, and this was a lot of fun. And I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought Uncharted was a really good time at the movies. And last but not least, we watched a movie on Netflix that we hadn't seen. It was on our to-watch list, and that is Vivo. Vivo is I want to say it's pronounced a kinkajou, which is a little type of monkey. The monkey is voiced by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who basically sings more catchiness and more Lin-Manuel Miranda rapping songs that he is known for. The movie pulls at the heartstrings pretty early on in the first 15 minutes, almost Pixar-esque in the way it pulls at those heartstrings. And then the movie kind of turns fun from there when a young girl named Gabby comes into play and takes Vivo, the monkey, under her wing into her life. So, fine for what it was. It had really good music, as most Lin-Manuel stuff does, in my opinion. I know Lin-Manuel's music isn't for everybody, but I love Hamilton. I loved In the Heights. I liked Moana. I mean, I'm a fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda. But Gabby is the heart and soul of the movie. She's the entertainment peak, the young girl in the movie. Highlight for sure, hands down, and helps the film shine and avoids it being like a meh movie. So I'd watched the trailer a very long time before it, put it on the list, and didn't remember much about the plot of the movie, so it was interesting to me because it wasn't fresh in my mind. I feel like anymore, you see so many commercials and trailers, like, that stuff is a lot fresher in mind. It's nice to watch an old trailer, have interest in it, and then watch it going in kind of blind. So Vivo gets a 3 out of 5, a fun family movie, a fun animated film. If you're looking for something to watch on Netflix with the kids, or if you're just in the mood for an animated film, I recommend checking it out. So that is it, guys. Like I said, 11 films watched in the month of February. And for the first time ever, I did not have a hot trash of the month. I mean, there was nothing that I wanted to deem hot trash that I watched, which I guess is nice. So I guess I did quality over quantity in February. I promise the upcoming months, there's some stinkers we're going to talk about. But yeah, nothing for hot trash of the month in February. And the surprise of the month, like I said, something that's tough to talk about now specifically, was The Fallout. I recommend checking it out, but it is not a light film. It is a very heavy movie. It's heavy, and yeah. So The Fallout, Jenny Ortega, fantastic performance. That's what I have to say about it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you're glad that I'm back to recording. It feels nice to be recording videos, getting the shelves kind of cleared off as I record stuff. I have tons of stuff to show you guys still. Monthly pickup videos are still coming out. I also will be doing a Video Game Movie Dome mega haul, which is like my pickups over the first 5 months of the year, essentially, or February through May. So that will be coming out. When I get to my April video, guys, I literally have a Rubbermaid container full of packages and titles that I bought, like literally full. February, I have a big stack. March, I have a big stack. So tons of pickups coming, but I know some of you guys really like my review videos, and that's why I keep doing them, even though very minor views compared to my pickups, but recommend them to people if you think they would like movie reviews. I try to give my my honest thoughts and not ramble on too long about each movie. So thank you guys for watching. As always, be sure to check out the description box down below where you can find links to my socials, as well as my Blu-ray.com profile, my Letterboxd profile, Blu-ray.com, I already said that, my eBay store, Amazon wishlist, email address, P.O. Box can all be found down below. And that is it, guys. So thank you for watching. As always, until next time, who's down to movie?